Hi, I'm Reverend Tony Lorenzen. I'm out for a walk with my dog Pancake. And this morning I'm thinking about what books I would recommend for white people to read this Black History Month. So take a walk with us. Before I get into the books I want to recommend, just a quick reminder to please subscribe, like the video, ring the notification bell, leave a comment. That really helps us out a lot with this YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks. So I was thinking about what I could do for Black History Month, and I thought about recommending some great things to read, especially for white people that take a look at elements of Black history from a different type of perspective. So during Black History Month, you'll see lots of recommendations of the modern classics, Ta-Nehisi Coates and Ibram Kendi and all that stuff, and it's great, and read all that stuff. But I wanted to give you some different things that give you some different perspectives from some different angles on some different topics that also help you take a look at what the African American experience in this country has been and is. So these are my recommended 5 books for white people to check out this Black History Month. Here we go. There will be links to all these books in the descriptions. My first recommended read for Black History Month is Black TV by Bethany Butler. It's a brand new book, and it takes a look at the history of Black television, Black actors and characters and programming and elements of race and the Black experience depicted in television of various types, different types of shows over the last 50 years. It's a great survey, and I recommend taking a dive into this because it will remind you of things that you've seen, it will point out to you things that you've missed, and it will be from a perspective both from the actors and the shows and the stories and the programming that's not yours. And it'd be really cool. Great book for white people to read this Black History Month. My second book. The second book I want to recommend to you is Fearing the Black Body, The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia by Sabrina Strings. Wonderful look at how racism has impacted not only our prejudice towards Black people, but our prejudice towards fat people. You may not know of the story, say, of Sarah Bartman, who was a South African enslaved person who was paraded around Europe and put on display for admission because of her large breasts and large buttocks. And she died very young at 25, can't imagine why. And that's just but one example of things we don't really pick up on in terms of our long-standing social prejudices towards fatness, not to mention how they're connected to racial prejudices. A great historical look at a number of different topics, how they're intertwined, by Sabrina Strings. Another recommended book for Black History Month. My third recommended read for Black History Month is God is a Black Woman. Christina Cleveland's book, God is a Black Woman, is a document tracing her search for the divine Black feminine after time spent in her career talking to faith communities and colleges and social justice organizations about racism and dismantling racism and problems of racism and such. She went in search of the Black divine feminine, and she went to sites in Europe of Black Madonnas. And this book chronicles her journey and talks somehow about how not only does that white male god impact America's history and its history of racism, but also leaves us with the sense of both hopelessness and helplessness in terms of making it any better. Great read, highly recommended. My fourth recommended book is a novel, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which is a young adult novel. And there's a bit of ageism, I think, in young adult literature, that young adult literature is just good literature that has younger people as protagonists and antagonists and main characters. So it's just a great novel. And it's the story of a black teenager who's shot by police. In Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give, the protagonist, Star, becomes increasingly activistic after her childhood friend Khalil is shot and killed by police. This has been made into a movie, and I think it's a great movie of a novel, but I highly recommend reading the book and reading it first if you want to watch the film. Although a good trailer or segment from the film on YouTube might be a great enticement to also read the novel. Fifth book I want to recommend to you for Black History Month as a great read for white people is Becoming Ella by Judith Tick, which is a recent biography of Ella Fitzgerald. So it looks at the jazz singer and her story and gives you a glimpse into not only the music world of jazz, but of black performers and artists during Ella's lifetime. Another fantastic read for Black History Month. So there's my 5 recommended books for white people to read this Black History Month that take a little different angle on things. Thanks for walking with us this morning. Check out these great books to read during Black History Month. And remember that Pancake and I love you. Bye. Check out my website and blog at tonylorenzen.com for even more resources that will open your mind, touch your heart, and inspire your spirit.